So we are very sorry that the internet here downstairs did not work, so we will upload this video and hope that you can see it afterwards without these annoying interruptions that we had. We proudly present our new exhibition, Architekturen, Überlebens, Hideouts, the Architecture of Survival, here in the Jewish Museum Frankfurt. And the show, the exhibition will be on display until the 1st of September 24, so you have plenty of time to visit us here in the museum. And I also proudly present Natalia Romik, the artist and architecture of this exhibition. And let me say before that this is the first time that it is shown here in Germany. Before it was on display on the contemporary art Trafo, contemporary art hall Trafo in Stettin, and in the National Gallery of Art in Warsaw. So this is the first time we have the possibility to see it here in Germany, also in German language, not only in English, like bilingual, this exhibition. And yes, we talk about something that is rather unknown in Germany. It's the history of people who had to hide during the Shoah in Eastern Europe, and this exhibition opens us a new perspective of the Shoah. So Natalia, what do you say?
Yes, thank you Katja for introduction, very kind introduction, and thank you Jüdisches Museum Frankfurt for this opportunity to show this interdisciplinary history of the 9 hiding places. This exhibition was a collective effort of many scholars, so you will see very soon the story about how we found those places with dendrologists, anthropologists, historians, and many other people. The team was 70 people, and the exhibition was created together with Kuba Schroeder and Stachruksha, and with the amazing help of Alexandra Janus. So I'm very happy to show you a few stories inside the exhibition.
So let's go in.
Let's go.
So the exhibition is divided into 2 parts. Do you want to tell us more about it, Natalia?
Yes, now we are in the room that you can see the cast of the 9 hideouts from Poland and as well from the Ukraine. And the sculptures are not my imagination about entry to the tree, part of the grave, part of the sewer system. So they are cast in a 1-to-1 scale and extraction of the different places. And now I would like to show you the story, but also the sculpture, and we can also talk about the silvering process in the south of Poland. It's a Wiśniowa village. And here what you can see, this is the entry to the tree, to the chimney tree, the tree which was empty inside.
So maybe we have to say that this tree was a hideout. So 2 people were hidden inside this tree and survived.
Yeah, they survived.
So the tree was like a shelter for them.
There was a shelter.
Time.
Exactly, that was a shelter for them. But there were like a local rumors in this village that probably somebody was hiding there. But we have no kind of data. We know only from the local story. And this project was very important because we always try to find a way outside from the archive. So as you can see, this is an entry to the tree, 650 years old tree. And the tree, it grows in a like part of the culture house in Wiśniowa village. So there was a rumor that 2 brothers, Katja said, were hiding inside. But actually we prove it through implication of the endoscopic camera inside the tree from the hoist.
But how did you get the idea to go to this village after all? How did you get the idea to go there and to make this research? Did you hear before about this about the story?
Yes, the story was quite well known that probably something was hiding inside. We found document that you will see in a few minutes from the 1961 wrote by Mr. Pelz, journalist, that he was there in the village, and he said like there was still local rumors about Himi brothers. Back then, Himi brothers will find a shelter inside the tree. And maybe a bit from the historical background, because during the Second World War, 50,000 Polish Jews, they were hiding in different places. And they were hiding in the nature and the private dwelling houses, but we know very little about the architecture themselves, because it's eroded. Now it's very hard to find the traces. That's why the technology was helping us to actually find the story. And
could you say us a little bit more about the sculpture? What we are going to see here?
Yes. So this is
you
the entry.
It's a cast of a tree.
Exactly. This is the cast of the entry to the tree. Because here you see this is the gap. The gap was much larger, and the gap will actually will be much smaller in a few years. And together with Agnieszka Schroeder and Rafał Żwirek, we put the silicone to the entry of the tree for like a few days. It was a really rainy day. And we make the extraction from the tree. And afterwards, we applied a gypsum model and also with some small scaffolding. And then we brought the whole sculpture to Poland. There was like an acrylic mixture with the other different elements. And then the sculpture was sent to Wrocław, to Piotr Kel's conservation studio. And we applied like a small silver flakes. He applied with an amazing team, centimeter by centimeter, and they were polished as a surface of every sculpture.
Yeah, that was very shiny.
But maybe will erode as a silver. Silver might erode, and the surface might change.
And that it will erode was also the reason why you decided on silver?
I'm working since years with mirrors and also with silver. It's very important for me because of the idea of the hantology and Derrida, but mostly we cannot reflect really in the silver, as you can see. And those places are very dirty, they have no commemoration, like a sewer, part of the sewer system, or like a small holes in a private apartments. So I was thinking, what kind of material might actually change and convert those places to the monuments of the human trauma and the will of survive and the courage. Because as we talked once, Katja, yeah, they have no tools, they have only spoons, knives, they have only nothing, and they were not only like running and being so scared every day from the German Nazi persecutors, but also by Polish neighbors or Ukrainian neighbors. So
they had to decide very quickly what to do, where to hide. They had to build these hideouts very quickly.
Exactly. And now probably I will tell you something that we found through the application of the endoscopic camera. Inside the tree, this empty tree inside, we found 14 stairs, wooden stairs built by the brothers.
How long did the brothers stay in the tree?
We don't know. We don't know. We only know that they stay in hiding inside for a few weeks, months. Actually, you will see in this video this moment when we were applying endoscopic camera, and you will see the stairs inside this 650 years old tree. And when together with Alexandra Janos we found some testimony and some data, from the beginning we thought like Himi name, surname is not Jewish name. Mm-hmm. And while we were applying the silicone mold, some people approach us and they said like every data are wrong. It's like Polish Museum is wrong, the data in the National Archive, Jewish Historical Institute. So they found the real names of the brothers. They were Denholz brothers. And actually they survived the war. They also survived concentration lager in Płaszów. They immigrate to the United States. So two people survive inside the tree.
How can you survive inside the tree?
Probably we will never know, and the whole testimony, the testimony of Abraham Karmi that we will approach this sculpture very soon, it's people also will not like to talk about those time living in a hiding. And that was not only people were helping them, but the nature actually provides shelter. And this, what you can see now, it's a this kind of abstract, a bit video from endoscopic camera. That's actually our first approach, and we made it together with a dendrologist.
It's really impressive.
So now I would like to show you the story from Warsaw. We are moving now to Warsaw. What you can see in the surface, they are bricks. They are bricks extract from the grave, from the shelter in a Jewish cemetery in Warsaw, in Okopowa Street, from the Orthodox quarter number 41. And again, very important idea of the project was coalition. Coalition with the local institution, like for example with the Jewish cemetery, with the Rabbinical Commission. And a few years ago, I think 6, even 5, Remigiusz Sosnowski told me the story about the bunker inside the cemetery.
So people were hiding inside the grave, actually.
Yes, but like from the beginning, the story was quite unknown, because like in an Orthodox custom, when somebody passed away, you put the body directly to the soil. And that was a kind of very strange bunker, because like it was like 2.5 meters or 2.5, but also built from bricks. So that was the question, why bricks in an Orthodox quarter in a Jewish cemetery? So that was a story about young Abraham Karmi, back then small boy, who together with his colleagues, but also with his family, they built a shelter inside the grave. So probably they extend the grave, what we are thinking with Alexandra Janus and Rabbinical Commission, and they built kind of adjustable part for the grave. And the grave, as you will see in a second in the picture, that was also kind of covered with the tram rails, and they covered matzevot, Jewish tombstones, to protect and to be invisible in the sphere of the cemetery.
So how many people survived inside this hideout?
As we know, from the 7 people, only 2 survived inside the shelter bunker.
Do we know what happened to the rest of the...
They were shot on the spot. And that was a one rule what Abraham said, you are never running to the hiding place. And he knew, as a small boy, very well the cemetery, because his family was also working in a pre-funeral house, and his also uncle and the family, like Posner, they built a shelter, which was actually, again, not easy, using what kind of different tools. So we are still unsure with the Rabbinical Commission why bricks and from where, but also we made an archaeological survey.
So they built this grave in order to survive. It was not there beforehand, but they built it to get into the hideout, right?
Exactly, exactly.
And how long did they stay there?
They stay, like, as we know from Abraham Karmi, because it's also very important that we found him. He's now 98. He lives in one of the kibbutzim nearby Tel Aviv. And he said, like, I cannot tell you. We had like a very, very strong interview, very touching interview with him. He said, like, as you are a child, you cannot really remember everything. And probably they stay a few months. There was, again, not only one shelter that they used. He was, as we know from his testimony, he was hiding in the private houses, flats, and that was the place that he stayed for probably a few months.
This is also something that we have to pronounce, that people changed very often their hideouts. They didn't stay, what we know from anhand, for example, they didn't stay for years in a hideout normally, but they changed it a lot of times.
Exactly, they changed a lot of times. And when I asked Abraham about how was alive inside the grave, he said, like, I cannot tell you. That was like, because I asked what they have, like, what kind of food, air, light, but then he focused again to architecture. So architecture was always in this project the main tool, and that allowed me and Alexandra Janus and Kuba Schroeder to actually repack the repository of the story.
And not many people survived in hideouts. This is also something that we have to say. Many people tried, but most of them did not succeed, were murdered on the spot, like you said,
yes.
Or deported to concentration camps. From this 3 million people Jewish people who lived in Poland and Ukraine, only 50,000 people survived in hideouts. Is this right? Yes.
It is right, yes. And it's very hard to find those places because they are destroyed, full of erosion. And the example of the tree, it's not easy to get inside. And it's also these forensic tools that we try to use. They are really helpful to actually navigate and to
There
find
are also
place.
not many witnesses left, and it's
Exactly.
great that you found them, or some of them.
And this is like what you said, Katja, is very important because it's always about living and hiding. So if you can see from the other side, from the background, the sculptures are very earthy, very dark. And this is also the part of the earth. So this is also the symbol that, we, as you said, we know only about, like, not really many testimonies.
Yes.
And probably in this grave, maybe more people were hiding. And this place actually we would like to commemorate, that you will see in the second in the vitrine.
So let's go to.
Yes, but maybe very briefly, because you said something very important that the people, there was not very common that the people stay in one hiding. So maybe we can come to Żokwa, that you will see the story of the people who stay in the one place for more than 18 months.
So this is the entrance of the hideout in Żokwa, as you said.
Yes.
Can you tell us something about it?
What you can see, this is the entry to the parquet, to the floor. It's a bit hard to imagine. You will see the picture in a very good quality. Now it's, maybe I will reverse the story. Now it's a regular house. Ukrainian families living here. And they still keep the story about Clara Kramer and the hideouts, where more than a year, 18 people live completely in the darkness. And here you can see also the pieces of the parquet. So that was the entry point to the cellar. Before the war, there was no cellar in the house. That was like house of the Melman patronage family. So they dig all days and night. They extend actually the small cellar before the war. And together with architects, we also measure this place. We have also like a very good data with the 3D scan, and that we mapped existing actually corridors and the division of the place that actually we can read about it in a Kramer testimony.
And you told us before that it was not possible to stand even in this cellar.
No, that was even hard for us to stay there for an hour.
You had to crawl, so we have to imagine what it means to be there for months.
Yes.
Without any daylight and, even not the possibility to stand.
No, that was not even a possibility. And with the measurement of the whole place, we know that was more than 55 quadrat meters. And in a Kramer testimony, we can also find the story how the place was divided and how the people call it like kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, although, you cannot, as you said, stand there and actually existing. Almost everyone survived, except one girl. This shelter, Mr. Beck and his family, they were helping them for this very long time in Żokwa. And actually this place is very, you can read the testimony, but again, we would know very little about the hideouts. And during the war in Ukraine, I think also we still have a contact with the family, so they will say they will keep this place forever as a Shoah testimony and a silent witness. You will also see in a second the story about Sturmer family who stayed in hiding again almost 2 years in a caves in Ukraine, and 2 caves, Vertreba and Overna. So again, the nature was also one of the main sources. Yeah.
And we have also to say that this exhibition is divided in 2. We have the other part of the exhibition. We already talked about it, where you can learn more about the stories behind the sculptures. Stories of survival, the stories of architecture of survival, yes, how people build it, how they survive.
Yes. So we would like to invite you to the second part. suggested like how the exhibition is organized and divided. So here you can find exhibition tables, also designed by Senna Collective, Sebastian Kucharuk, Piotr Jakowenko, and myself. And why the reason to show you those tables? It's actually to gather together all data as also material witness, to introduce you the story from the background, from the archival perspective, but also our personal story, for example, with Alexandra Janus. You can see the pictures of...
Here you can see the tree where we had the cast.
You can see the tree. And as well...
And also the entrance to the tree.
Entrance to the tree, but also, for example, very important meeting with Manja Berenholz and Helen Schwarz, daughter of Denholz brothers.
So the brothers survived inside the trees. You
Yes.
already said it before.
But also you can hear the wooden step from inside of the oak tree, which we are presenting to you. And again, this is like, for example, expertise from dendrochronologist, when he also tried to help us to find from which year is the tree. And this is the picture from the 50s. And here you can see very well how the gap and the entry to the tree was much, much larger than is now. From the other side, we are presenting to you 3D scans, measurements made by Architekturen. They are data, like a cloud of points. It's very kind of complicated approach, how geodets made it, especially for us. Here you can see the part of the sewer system in Lviv. Also, we are showing to you the story about the sewer system, or, for example, the hiding place in Vernańska Street in Ukraine. And I would like to underline also the amazing support from the Urban Center in Lviv and the coalition with our amazing friends from Ukraine that actually, because of the war, also they cannot see this exhibition here in Frankfurt, especially men cannot actually leave the country.
So maybe we can go to this map.
Oh, please.
Yes.
To navigate.
To navigate where we are now.
Yeah, so this is a bit like abstract map, which I really like. And this is the map with a larger number of the Jewish community before the Second World War. And we call them shtetls, shtetler, from Yiddish. It means like a small town. And we start our journey with you today with Wiśniowa, the Joseph Oak tree, and as well Żołkiew, which is now Ukraine, that was a part of Poland before Second World War, and I also mentioned a bit the caves in Ozerna and Vertreba. And here it's like a Warsaw, so you can see those points, and some of them we still have a new data, new stories about the hideouts.
Your project is not finished yet.
It's not finished, and for example, still the history of the cupboard.
The history of the cupboard. Yes, let's go to our cupboard. One of the most interesting objects that we have here in this exhibition. And if you look inside the cupboards, you see some kind of drawings. So, Natalia, could you tell us how this cupboard was found and what kind of drawings these are?
Yes, that was actually the last case of the hideouts that we actually, let's say, received in our repository of the project. In 2020, young couple moved to the house in Huta Zaborowska, which is quite close to Warsaw, and they saw like ordinary, like a cupboard, and they thought, okay, so it's quite destroyed, maybe we will chop it. The wood, it's quite smelly, and to their own surprise, they found inside the cupboard written testimony. It's written here: "This cupboard was my shelter, was my hideouts." From the 21st February 43 till 25th of April 43. And we decided to bring this cupboard to the Polish Jewish Museum in Warsaw, and we started now with Alexandra Janus and Dr. Luisa Nader investigation. We had a conference only about this cupboard, and
this is a loan from the Poly Museum.
This is a loan from the Poly Museum, and making long story short, we think that was a small boy who was hiding inside from Huta Zaborowska. Still with Matan Shefi, we try to find if he survived the war. What you can see, there are some drawings. For example, it's written probably with mistake, He Jude die auch Jude. There is a guy you see with the profile with the horse, and this is like actually signboard. It's written to Palestine, so many kilometers, and it's exactly number from the small village Huta Zaborowska to Israel. There are also some mysterious drawing. It's written Pfefferwertak. So we are also very counting, like if you will know what might Pfefferwertak means, because still we are unsure. And there is a sex scene, for example. Maybe this boy was a bit, you know, just like maybe he saw something through the gap of the cupboard that we don't know. And currently we finished an article about the drawing inside.
So we know that the boy was...
Yeah, we know from the drawing specialist that was a boy. And together with Alexandra Janus, we found a story about the cupboard, meeting the first owners. So they said during the war there were 2 kids inside the house, but they said like they spoke German. Probably was Yiddish, and in a village they cannot recognize this.
Do you know what happened to these kids?
No, we don't know. We don't know yet, but I hope, like for example with the grave, we found Abraham Karmi. Actually, we can go to this vitrine with Abraham Karmi. And also a year ago, after the exhibition, we found our hero, gentleman, Mr. Shabtai Bakfine, who was in hiding in Lviv. And together with conservator of Lviv, Oleg Rybczynski, and with Matan Shefi, we found him, we visited him in Herzliya in Israel.
In Lviv, people survived in the sewer system, or where did he survive?
That was not in the sewer system, that was in a private house in Lvivska Street. Mm-hmm. But maybe we would like to show you the archaeological survey from the grave. Mm-hmm. So there are some objects, as you can see. So fragment of the lime plaster, pieces of the matzevot. So we found also coins. And Katja was also like underlining very important history that not everyone survived. So only 2 people of the bench of the group, Jurek Płoński and Abraham Stolbach-Karmi, as the white line are showing to you, they survive inside the grave. And we have this...
and this is how it looks today.
Exactly, exactly. So the hideout is like a picture taken from drone. And yeah, I wish the place will be commemorated because it's in such a bad shape. So from the other side you can see our project to commemorate this place, but in a very simple way, to commemorate as an archaeological survey and with information in Hebrew, Polish and English about who was hiding inside, what we found inside, we would like to present to the audience. And there are testimony of Abraham Karmi, written only in Hebrew, but also he mentioned the story. And this is like the video that you can see how the cast was made. This is like inside the grave. Aga Schroeder is actually taking out the gypsum model. And this is like me and the Żwirek, Rafał Żwirek. So there was like a puzzle to put them together. And we are working here with rabbinical commission, because with the archaeological survey inside that cemetery, we cannot dig actually more than 20 centimeters. So it was a very, very long procedure. And the video was made by Peter Prestel and Gerda Henkel Stiftung.
Okay, maybe we have a last look on this wall.
Yes, so what you can see, they are kind of much more invisible, which was our idea to show you one of the first drawings, extraction from Edmund Schoenberg testimony. It was one of the first testimony that he, as an engineer, he tried to also recollect what kind of hideouts he was able to see during the war. So it's only a 6-pager. You can find this document in the Jewish Historical Institute in Warsaw. And that was one of my first inspiration, like if those hideouts still exist, how the corridors was made.
So what we do see here, for example?
So here you can see actually like the fake, how you say it, like a cupboard, but inside when you just like move the wall, you can go to the corridor and the bunker. And he also wrote about the extension of the roof. It's called like a fake roof. He made like a small methodology of the hideout that he was able to see. But I think it's like very important source of knowledge. And also he talked about tools, about spoons, about knives. It's very, very simple tools that Jews use constructing the hideouts.
So it's like a document of the architecture of survival.
Exactly. So if you would like to see this exhibition, which I very hope, also you can see history from Ukraine, from the canalization system, and again, as a regular people, historians, scholars, probably will be not able to go into the sewers and to follow the history of the Higer family. So that was only possible because of the Center of Urban History and Urban Explorers. And what Anna Tichka, one of the really best historians from Lviv, she found those objects inside one of the corridors of the sewer system.
This is something that struck me the most, that these
Yes.
objects are still there. And you can find them.
Yes. But also, how you can find, you must know very well the space. You must, be very kind of strong and to, and know very well the corridors, which actually you are not allowed to go in a daily basis. And here, you can also see the house of the Kramer family in Żołkwa that we talked with Katja before. So you can see how the kitchen looks like now. And also the entry point, it was exactly the mold was taken from this point, and you will see the whole structure of the corridors in a cellar of this private house. Just like in a second, exactly.
Okay, thank you, Natalia.
Thank you, Katja.
And yes, we are very proud to have your exhibition here again, and to everybody else, we would be very happy to welcome you in the Jewish Museum in Frankfurt.
Yeah, vielen Dank, and I hope you will.
We'll be here for the next 6 months.
Yes.
So.
And I hope you will also explore more in the tables and the videos, but also we are waiting for your thoughts, comments, like a cupboard, for example. And we have amazing catalog that
yes, we have
Katja was editing as well with Kuba Schroeder, Alexandra Janus.
I can show this catalog.
Please.
Here's the German version. So it's also available in our shop, in our bookshop.
And you can find the testimony and the methods, artistic methods that we used, and we have beautiful essays as well with a lot of free discounts. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.